Hey everyone, it's Alex, and welcome to the Marvel Snap Decks of the Week, the weekly series where I showcase the top 10 best decks in Marvel Snap. And this week we've got 11 decks because we're starting with a bonus Firehair deck. And also this week we're doing things a little differently because we're going 5 decks that are going to be for high voltage, 5 decks are going to be for ranked ladder, and of course this bonus deck. So let's get started. And as always, if you'd like to support the content, the best thing you can do is hit the like button and just, double check that you're subscribed. It's super helpful, and of course it helps you keep tabs of what's going on with the channel and getting updates and etc. and etc. With that being said, we got the bonus deck, which is Fiery Thanos, and I like this take. Now, in my opening video where I was doing the review of Firehair, I did actually create a Thanos deck. Now, this one here has a couple extra touches, including the Angel and Makari, which I found particularly fascinating, and it actually makes perfect sense because I went the route of Devil Dinosaur, and this deck uses Makari and an Angel because, well, I guess it makes a lot of sense. You're pulling things out of your hand. I went the Devil Dinosaur route because in my testing I found that my hand was always topped off. And so as a result, because of Firehair's ability to reproc those stones effects and basically draw through your deck so fast, having the Makari and the Angel coming down and creating space for your cards so you can draw effective winners is actually pretty cool. The deck is really neat. I did test it quite a bit. It was fun. It was a fun take on Thanos. It is running a 54% win rate, which is going to be very low with regards to the top 10 of the week. So as a whole, Firehair, cooking still being done, but this is going to be the top win rate shell currently, according to Untapped-based statistics post-infinite, of course. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to be going into our high voltage section here. These are in ranked order based on the win rate. I am also noting the games played according to Untapped. Obviously, there's no infinite statistics with Untapped in high voltage. It's just general statistics. So let's talk about this one here. It's a 61% win rate deck with 270 games played, and it's toxic. I like the list. It's running Laufey, the Series 4 card, one of the 3 Series 4 cards that was offered in the prior game mode, the Sanctum Showdown. I like the addition of Malekith. I'm always looking for a reason to run Malekith, but as a result, this is actually a pretty expensive toxic deck. Now, you have the Ajax, you got the Anti-Venom, you have the Malekith, you have the Laufey, you have the Diamondback. It's running all the toys. All the toys are here. And so it's expensive, but if you have the toys and you've been looking for a reason to play Laufey and Diamondback, and in my testing, Diamondback has still been so good. I really like Diamondback a lot. This is one you can turn to, and this is going to be the number 10 on the list here. Going to number 9, Xenomorph, and this is pretty cool because it has not only Morph in it, but obviously this is a Baron Zemo style deck. Ebony Maw being used in it because naturally Ebony Maw, you have to play it on the first 3 turns, and you only have 3 turns in high voltage, so Ebony Maw disproportionately does enjoy that. Copycat's really fun in this. Juggernaut tends to be really good, and Negasonic is fantastic. I mean, what can I say? In this game mode specifically, Negasonic does do a lot of work. It won't be the last time you see Negasonic in a high voltage deck. It's interesting. I like the kind of mix up between the Baron Zemo tempo stuff. Obviously, they have the Hydration Robert and the Ebony Maw. And surprisingly, Red Hulk does get quite a bit of value because people tend to float energy because you're getting such random allotments of energy that they're often floating once or twice or even on the last turn because they just can't use all the energy effectively based on their plays. And you probably experience the exact same thing. So despite there only being 3 turns, Red Hulk tends to be not too bad. So there's that, I guess. And obviously Shang-Chi tends to be a game winner even in this particular game mode. So this here is Xenomorph, 62% win rate. This one has 1,800 games played. Continuing with high voltage, we have Spectrum. Now, I was running a different version. Just for fun, I'll show you my version too. But this is currently the highest win rate version of Spectrum, running a 62% win rate, a 550 games played. It is just solid Spectrum. I like the Ravonna usage for the Mystique and Iron Man combination. Moonstone really carries the ongoing archetype. It feels so good in it. Cosmo's great for a lot of the counterplay you're seeing. And I mean, from there, it's just Spectrum with a nice top off here. If you want to see the kind of stuff I was cooking here, this is obviously going to be linked down below. I was playing this version of Spectrum, and I loved it. I loved it so much. And if you don't believe me that Namor's actually good in this mode, take a look at my highlights from Twitch. We were playing during the Twitch drops, and Namor just by himself would just carry a lane. And I would just throw him down there and be like, okay, he'll win that one. And then I would set up a Wong combo in the other one. If you want to, if you're a little concerned about Namor, you could add something like a Mr. Fantastic to this list, right? And, you could even cut something like the Iron Lad and the Howard Duck, but I like them. What can I say? But anyways, this is the deck that I ran specifically. I enjoyed it, and it was honestly pretty successful. But if you're looking for the statistical one that is on Untapped. This will be the one. I just want to show you my cook, man. I'm telling you, the more's legit here. It's a hill I'm willing to fight on here. So let's keep going here as we go to the number 2 deck of the new game mode here, High Voltage, and that is going to be Gore Control. Once again, you are seeing the likes of Juggernaut and Negasonic in here. It does have Gore and Wiccan. Now, what's interesting about this here is that you can often play Wiccan on turn 1, which is it greedy? I mean, kind of. Do you really need extra energy in High Voltage? I mean, I guess. Why not, right? I do like this deck a lot. Captain Marvel continues to be excellent with Galacta, and you can kind of slide that in, sometimes even on turn 2. So I don't know, man. I just like it. I just like this list a lot. I was playing this one here, and the only card that I didn't feel like was getting enough value, I don't want to say enough value, but I found that Iron Patriot, if I didn't play it on turn 1, like felt kind of bad, because playing it on turn 2, like you're winning what? Like, you know what I mean? You have an extra card in your hand that you can play, but it's unlikely to be discounted unless you play it on turn 1. So you do, I mean, you could obviously, if you draw into it, you play it on turn 1 so you can get that benefit. But anyways, that's just me kind of complaining about a deck with a 64% win rate. It does have 210 games played, which is a little on the low end, but again, High Voltage just came out yesterday, effectively, and so, you know, we do have some limited stats on it, but Gore Control is one of the options here. Now, taking the top of the cake, according to Untapped statistics, at 290 games played, a 64% win rate is Patriot Ultron. And I like this a lot because it's relatively inexpensive. Yes, it has Moonstone. Moonstone really makes Patriot cracked. If you don't have Moonstone, you can go the route of Mystique, right? But I will tell you, this deck is surprisingly good. And I just think that, like, people aren't expecting Ultron on turn 3 of High Voltage. But I like the fact that it's just so beginner friendly and it's so budget oriented and it's statistically doing good according to Untapped. And so if you're the kind of person that is on a limited budget, wants a free to play friendly deck, this is super exciting because it is relatively free to play friendly. And again, Moonstone from Mystique if you don't have it, and you got yourself a pretty damn cool list. We move to our top 5. Now, this is ranked according to Untapped-based statistics. Infinity rank and above. This is ranked, not High Voltage. This is Spectrum 2099 running a 59% win rate and a 0.49 cube rate. The win rates are actually very high this week. And this one here is a 2099 deck that, that card's been nerfed multiple times now, and it's still good. I mean, and it's funny because, like, it makes me wonder, like, obviously I gave it 5 stars on the Snapchat and I reiterated that multiple times, and I knew 2099 was going to be good, and I just, like, I don't know if it was going to be good enough to kind of resist or continue to be meta relevant after 2 subsequent nerfs, and here we are. It's still doing the thing. It's a good card. It's a good deck. Mobius making quite a few shells right now, and quite frankly, it's a deck that kind of does it all. If you're looking to play some Doom 2099 and you want to play some Spectrum ongoing, and this is the deck that's going to do that. I do like the usage of Dazzler in this deck because you do tend to fill lanes pretty effectively. Obviously, the Psylocke is being used to get Doom 2099 out early. Ironically, this is one of those decks that it really only has one cheat option for them because otherwise, you just have pretty good, solid plays. I mean, getting Sam Wilson down early or Captain America down early is still generally worth it, but obviously nothing beats that 2099 down on turn 3. 59% win rate, it's a solid one at number 5. At number 4, we got ourselves a bit of a cook. Loki Thanos, a 61% win rate deck, 54 cube rate, well, 0.54 I should say. And I was testing this list and I was having a lot of fun with it because, listen, Thanos, I've always wanted Thanos to, like, make a comeback, and it's starting to, right? Even with the Fire Hand, or Firehair. Now I don't remember. Her hand's on fire. It's not fair. All that just rhymed. But anyways, so Thanos is a lot of fun to play. Now with Loki, it's kind of fascinating because what happens is if you get Loki in your opening hand, you play Loki, and if you have stones, you're drawing Loki cards, which is kind of cool, right? But the other side of that is you're much less likely to pull Loki because your deck's diluted, right? You have so many extra stones in it, so Loki is unlikely to be in your opening hand. That's a factor that you need to consider. It also features Agamotto, which further dilutes your deck. And so this is kind of interesting in the case of, like, okay, it's a Loki deck, but, like, is it really a Loki deck? Like, are you really leaning into the Loki side? Or is the Loki play kind of like, well, look at that. I high rolled, let's do it, right? My testing is somewhat limited with this list. I was playing it just like in the last couple hours here, and still think it's cool. So I want to showcase it to you. Loki Thanos, 61% win rate. It's pretty damn interesting. Worth checking out for sure. Going into number 3, we do have Agamotto Scream. Now, there's going to be 2 Scream decks we talk about. Scream continues to not want to go away in the meta. And this one here is one that features your boy Kingpin, who I'm seeing a whole lot of in the Daredevil series. I'm actually on season 1 of Daredevil. We're enjoying it, though. We're having a lot of fun watching it. It's like a Marvel show that my wife's like actually interested in watching, which is pretty cool because usually she's like, I don't want to watch. I kind of feel like I'm dragging her through the movie sometimes. But she actually likes this one, and your boy Kingpin is in a whole lot of it. He's literally one of the main characters, so there's that, I guess. But this deck is featuring Agamotto. It has Magneto, who is being cut from a lot of the Scream-based decks. Rocket and Groot, of course. And of course, you have the Craven, Iron Patriot, Scream, and Sam Wilson combo, which makes your turn 2, literally, it's the best turn 2 deck in the game. No matter what you play, you're playing an amazing card, and you always have an amazing follow-up. Like, that's what makes this deck so good. It's got a great turn 2 through to the closing. A little weak on 1 if you don't draw your Kingpin, but you know what? Your turn 2 is so strong, you make up for it. And so at a 62% win rate, 0.46 Q rate, it's a solid choice. Ironically, not the top performing Scream deck, but one of them. Definitely one of them that you can consider playing to get to infinite. We go to number 2, and that's going to be Sandy Control. Sandy Control has a 62% win rate and a 0.54 cube rate, and it is the Gorgon-based deck. We've seen some modification of the list over the last couple of weeks, but this Gorgon-based disruption deck that's using the Sandman, Gorgon, and essentially Makari to put points on the board. Miss Marvel as well, which is kind of somewhat tricky with Makari, but with the Sam Wilson, you could really activate the Miss Marvel to some degree of effectiveness using the shield as kind of like the secondary activation for one of the locations. What I like about this deck, though, is it completely shuts down the Agamotto or turn 6 type stuff. Agamotto gets disrupted by the Gorgon. It's not usually that bad because even if they disrupt you a little bit, sometimes you still get like the Balthak out and you got all this extra energy anyway, and then they Gorgon. It's like, well, it doesn't really matter. I got all the energy anyway. So you also get temporal manipulation out early. Regardless, Gorgon is somewhat disruptive, and when you add the Sandman on top, then it really messes stuff up. But overall, the deck has a great job of putting down consistent power, using Sandman to disrupt plays, Doctor Doom as the wide blanket of power, which also is used to activate the Miss Marvel. And it's one of the few decks now that really uses Miss Marvel to good effectiveness because you want that spread power, that really effective wide gamut of power. Doctor Doom enables it, Miss Marvel enables it, and Sam Wilson enables it to some degree as well. Makari, of course. And you also, don't forget, you have the Rocket and Groot, which can be moved to activate the Miss Marvel. It's actually great that the shield is now at 0 cost because when Hydro Bob moves, the shield and Hydro Bob no longer deactivate the Miss Marvel. So that's a great little synergy there. But anyways, Sandy Control, 62% win rate. It's a solid one if you're looking to play to infinite. And that's going to take us to our number 1 deck of the week. And just a reminder, if you're not yet subscribed, consider hitting the subscribe button. I would sincerely appreciate it. It's free, and it helps you to stay up to date with the content. It's going to be Scream. I did mention that Scream was still number 1, and we weren't done talking about it. 64% win rate, 0.61 Q rate, which is literally insane. And it's running the usual suspects, as we talked about, usually that turn 2 kind of power line of Scream, Iron Patriot, Craven, and Sam Wilson. Feel a little repetitious here. This obviously does not have the Magneto. It does not have the Agamotto. Instead, you are getting the Arrow. And what's interesting about this list is it's nearly the pre-nerf Scream deck. And so it's one of those situations where Arrow got nerfed and the Scream deck got generally touched up, and you're just thinking to yourself, oh, they finally take Scream out of the meta. No, they did not. No, they did not. Scream is still very legit. It's still the top deck in ranked, according to Untapped, of course, post infinite. And if you're looking to play some Marvel Snap and you want to get the easy dubs to infinite, you can go Scream. If you're looking to get the weekend missions done, you can use the Agamotto version, which has slightly lower stats, but still quite effective. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I sincerely appreciate every one of you, and we'll see you on that next one.